Karen. And thank you to the Member of Parliament. And thank you to everyone participating in this event. Today, my presentation is quite different than usual. And it makes sense. As we celebrate the achievements and the progress of women worldwide, we must also feel responsible for what's going on in Afghanistan today. After we, the people of Afghanistan, defeated the USSR, we expected to see a different Afghanistan. For example, like Germany after the Second World War. In contrast, after 43 years of war, we now live under the Taliban, a group who committed thousands of suicide attacks on civilians. The group which considered as a terrorist and does not represent the majority of people of Afghanistan. King John of England, who was the reason for the creation of Magna Carta, would be very sad to see what is happening with women in Afghanistan today. The women in Afghanistan experienced 43 years of war, the longest war in history. We lost 6 million lives, and the 43 years of war left millions of widows, orphans, and disabled. More than the Second World War, comparing the size and the population of Afghanistan to the EU. Despite some progress in recent years, women in Afghanistan are facing gender apartheid in the 21st century. Women of Afghanistan have suffered decades of conflict, violence, and oppression. Under the Taliban's rule, women face torture and human rights violation. Women banned from receiving an education, working, or having any public life. The situation of women in Afghanistan is a clear violation of human rights. And it's our obligation, and it is our obligation, to liberate them as soon as possible. Since the return of Taliban, we as an organization in London have received thousands of emotional emails, messages, and telephone calls from women requesting for evacuation. Millions of women under the Taliban face persecution and starvation right now. In addition, we are the only community in the world that does not have any representation in politics globally. We are the only diaspora community that cannot speak. Sorry, I don't know if I said we are the only organization. Okay. We are the only diaspora community in the world that does not have any representations in politics globally. We are the only diaspora community that cannot speak English well enough to share our voice globally. We are the only diaspora community with no active all-party parliamentary group that can raise awareness and amplify our voices to parliamentarians, especially during this extremely difficult time in our history. So what are the solutions? And I believe the solution would be the following. Number one, unreported human rights and women rights violation in Afghanistan is a serious case. And we urgently need an international inquiry to investigate this. Number two, more bursaries and scholarships should be offered for women to study abroad in case if there will be any new transition or new government in the near future. Number three, Afghanistan crisis is still a grave humanitarian crisis. An urgent humanitarian aid is needed as happened in Syria, Turkey, and Ukraine. Today, over 28 million people in Afghanistan are on the brink of starvation. So number four, supporting a new political opposition or government in exile is also needed. We are happy to lead and coordinate this. Having spent all my life serving the community on a grassroots level and leading an award-winning British charity since 1999. But in order to achieve tangible outcomes for the above, we urge Great Britain as the center of civilization and democracy to not leave our people alone in this tragic time. We urge Great Britain to support the future political system for Afghanistan with a women's majority at the center. We urge Great Britain to call the United Nations and the United Nations Security Council to put Afghanistan as their main priority. And this can only be achieved through increasing participation of the diaspora community in dialogue, debate, and having a voice in politics, including at the Foreign Office and think tanks. That is why we recently launched the Afghanistan Women's Movement, the Diaspora Council, and Afghanistan Policy Group. On this International Women's Day, let us remember the women of Afghanistan and commit ourselves to fight for freedom, democracy, equality, justice in Afghanistan. Together, we can bring changes in Afghanistan and to those nations who are facing similar pain and misery. Together, we can create a world where every woman and girl can live free from discrimination and violence and have the opportunity to reach their full potential. And the road to freedom and equality for all women around the world must start from Afghanistan. Thank you very much.